Well, hello everybody. This is Dr. Troy Duquitz of the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. Today's topic is this. I had a record month. Sorry, I have to laugh, folks. So I see this. You see it too. Come on. Like, I probably see this every, 6 to 12 times a week, maybe, on social media, where somebody's bragging about said record month, and then they're bragging about maybe a new car, and then they're bragging about, their business and how it's expanding and blah, blah, blah. Now, look, I get it, okay? It sells. Growth in business sells, and it especially sells to entrepreneurs because you want more of that thing that person has. I get it. But here's the thing, and look, full disclosure, I'm having a really kick-ass month right now. And this is the month of September 2019. I'm having a really, really great month. And here's the thing, though. Like, I've had some rough ones, too, and not necessarily from a business standpoint. In other words, the business has stayed consistent, but I've had some really rough, shitty months. If you look back and you've listened to me over any period of time, you know that in April of this year, we had our big landscaping saga, which took over 2 months. And by the way, now here we are in September. It was April. Here we are in September. And we still are not cleared up from this. We still have an outstanding case with the insurance company that we're working to clear up. Like, this has been a freaking mess, ladies and gentlemen. Throw in getting in a car accident due to a tornado and being without a vehicle for over a month. Like, there's just been some stuff that's happened. Just a couple weeks ago, we lost Uncle Kevin to a brain tumor. Like, there's been things that have happened in life that have been kind of a shitstorm when we look at it. Me and my wife and I, as we sit and we look, we're like, man, where did the summer go? Now, I understand time flies, right? But we look at the summer like, wow, it was like a summer of work. Like, it just really felt like we really had to work this summer. And I don't mean like work for work as entrepreneurs. I mean, like, in all areas, we really had to work. We had to work to make sure we were focused in family. We had to work to make sure we were focused on our relationship. We had to work to make sure we were focused on business. Why? Because there were so many external things going on that we had to make sure that those things were being tended to and taken care of. And so it happens, and it's not what people want to share. They want to get on Facebook. They want to share the gold watch, the fancy car, whatever, and that's what they want to share. I had a record month, and if you want to have a record month too, come join me. And here's the thing nobody ever wants to talk about. Nobody ever wants to talk about the shitstorm. Nobody wants to talk about the challenges. Nobody wants to talk about being down and out. Nobody wants to talk about being tired. Nobody wants to talk about, like, taking hours for you to get up and just get yourself focused and in the game. I can tell you, this past summer, since the issue with the landscaper has been, for me, probably the hardest 6 months worth of, probably 4 months worth of coaching that I've had in probably 6 years, because of how hard it's been to just like get your head out of this game and over into this game. So it's been more mental lifting so I can get focused when I get on a phone call and have calls with clients. So then I find myself exhausted at the end of the day, and coaching isn't exhausting. I love coaching. It's a freaking blast. I had calls today. It's amazing. It's a fun gig. I'm fortunate to be able to do it. And yet I'm finding that I was tired after these calls. Why? Because it's taken so much more mental preparation to get in the game. Why? Because there's been a lot of stress. There's been a lot of challenges. And yet I sit here and I tell you, like, man, I'm on the brink of yet another record month here in the month of September. And I don't say that just from a financial standpoint, just from a business standpoint. I say it from a standpoint of going on vacation with my family here for 2 weeks, that my kids and my wife and I have all been extremely just connected and having fun, and just like things that felt stressed and a lot of work months ago are just flowing, man, and they're easy, and it feels good. It feels right. My health, outside of having some allergy things that have gone on and kind of plagued me over the last couple of weeks, like I've been stronger in my workouts. I've had great meditations. Like, to me, that's a record. Like, to me, that's what you're striving for, is not just a record month. I'm striving for a consistency and greatness month. And to be great again next month and have that same conversation with you that says, this is what I was able to accomplish with my family. This is what I was able to accomplish in my health and my business across the board. But so many people, and again, I'll say it again, I know it sells. It's not sexy to go out there and talk about having greater connection with your spouse and your kids. It's not sexy to talk about you're healthier than ever before. It's not sexy to talk about those things. Oh, but it sure as hell is sexy to say you had a record month. But what if you were to consider that true success in life comes from all the domains that we talk about? A connection to God, a connection to family, a connection to self, and a connection to business. With business being the last piece of that puzzle. And what if you're willing to hustle in all four of those areas, not just one? And what if you were actually to acknowledge when times are shitty or tough, you just acknowledge them and you work through them and give yourself credit that when you feel like you've gotten to the top of the mountain and you put your flag in when you get to the peak, you're like, yes, we did it. We had a great month. That you could actually have a great month in all four domains of your life, not just one. But also often we're just led to believe that you have to hustle in business, and it leaves everything else off to the side. So if you're striving for a record month, look at your health. What would that look like to have a record month in your health? What would it look like to have a record month in your spirituality? What would it look like to have a record month in your relationship with your spouse, significant other, or children if you have them? What would it look like to have a record month in your business? And not just from a financial standpoint, but from a connection standpoint to your team, your employees. And you look at it and then you go, I'm going to replace record month with a month of greatness. And here's what it would look like to have a month of greatness and then to consistently have a month of greatness. Because what we know is the way life is, and what nobody wants to talk about when they talk about their record month, is that there are challenges, there are difficulties. You have to be consistent, you have to be congruent, you have to be focused, you have to be driven. And if you can push through the difficult months, when you get to the top of the mountain, man, it was a journey to get there. My character shines in the face of challenge. It doesn't shine on top of the mountain. It shines that I'm not willing to give up. It shines that I keep pushing through. It shines that when I am down and out and in those challenges, I am going to find a way to fucking win. And that's the way you are too, or you wouldn't be here listening. You wouldn't be participating in the exercises. I know who you are. You know who you are. So we have to acknowledge that the difficulties are just an opportunity for me to reach the peak of the mountain. But when I get up there, guess what? There's another mountain to climb. And there will be other challenges and other difficulties. But if I just get up there and I wave my flag for how awesome I am for another record month, then it's really easy to lose focus on what it took for you to get there and what it's going to take to get to the next mountain. So my hopes for you here today are that you simply just stop. Just stop. Take a look at your own life and where is it that you want to create the consistency of greatness? A consistency of greatness in your health, a consistency of greatness in your relationships, a consistency in relationships in your spirituality, a consistency of relationship, a consistency of success and greatness in what? In your business. And what would that look like? And that's what you strive for. And when you feel down and out, you take a look at what you want to create and that consistency of greatness. What is it that you want to create and help that to get you back on track? And remember the challenges and the battle scars that you've gained all through the years and use them as power to catapult you to the next level. And when you go share your greatness on Facebook or social media, make sure you talk to people about the challenges that you had. Make sure that you are very transparent, that it wasn't just all roses and candy and unicorns, but that it was hard work, that it was consistency, and hopefully that you didn't lose your own identity or your family along the way. That's all I've got for you here today. I am Dr. Troy Dukowitz. Hey, as always, please head on over to iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher. Make sure you rate, review, and or subscribe to this podcast. And if you need anything or you want to share a message with me, please shoot me an email at drtroy@commitandgo.com. And finally, head on over to www.commitandgo.com. Take a look at the site. You'll find out more about myself. You'll find out more about what it is that I do as a coach. Maybe it's time we have a conversation. That's all I've got for you here today. I am Dr. Troy Dukowitz. This has been the Commit and Go podcast, where we encourage you to make big commitments, take big action, and create big-ass results in your life and business. We'll hear you next time. Bye-bye.